Hi, good afternoon all. The boys are back in action with a chance to finally alter their destiny this season. Coming up. We are staring a chance right in the eye this week. And we couldn't ask for a better scenario than the games we have lined up, the next 3 games, as the boys now have a chance to get themselves back in this race after a miserable, miserable season that has just felt like endless disappointment, right? Let's take a look at the standings right now. All right, there's Tampa and Detroit holding on to those last playoff spots. We just got to catch one of them, of course. The Islanders lost yesterday, a huge loss, so that's really good news for us. The Capitals, I just figure, are just not going to continue this pace. Jersey struggled all year. They're in the same boat as us. They want to get hot too and try to squeak in. There you see the Sabres at 500. And the Penguins also a game over 500, still in this race. Here's this week's upcoming games. And if you look at it, there you see today, we got Detroit. Then we have the Islanders. And then we have Detroit again. No back-to-backs, 2 home games, and then a road game in Detroit. If the Sabres can sweep out these games, that has to be in regulation. They cannot, like today, they can't afford this not, to go into extra time. They just can't afford it. Really, they can't. They need to beat the Red Wings in regulation. I know the Red Wings are due for a win. Well, they've lost like five in a row now, and they just keep losing. And we've got Detroit at the right time, it feels like, but Detroit is due for a win, which worries me coming into this game. But it doesn't really matter anymore. The offer's on the table. Do you boys want to get back in this race or not? It's one or the other. As the Red Wings continue to slide, their fans had written them in as a playoff team. Let's face it. Detroit fans will have to admit to that. They thought the Red Wings were just coasting into the playoffs. Not too long ago, they were on a 5-6 game winning streak. 13 games over 500. Everything looked good. And then, boom, they crash and burn the last 5 games. And if the Sabres can beat them in this one, there'll be panic in Detroit. And there should be, because Detroit would have to do a major choke job to not get in this year. A major choke job. Because they were just riding high, floating right into the playoffs like no, it looked like they were a playoff team. I thought they were. And all of a sudden, they're crashing and burning. I would have thought this would happen to the Flyers, not the Red Wings. But the Flyers continue to hang around. They're 9 games over. So the Flyers could get into this conversation in the near future too. We have to see what happens there. But for now, it's the Islanders. The Islanders are 8 games over. The Flyers are 9. 3 teams have to get in their playoffs, even if they're crap teams. It doesn't matter. They're getting in over there. So I can't even stress how important it is to win this game in regulation today, guys. If we lose in regulation, it's pretty much we're dusted, because we're another game off the schedule and we fall even further behind. We have a chance at the end of today's game to be 5 points out of a playoff spot. 5. Season's not over, so don't give up. It's not over. If we can win this one outright, then beat the Islanders outright, and then go into that game in Detroit, it'll be a huge game all of a sudden. It won't just be, are the Sabres going to linger around 500? No, it'll be, are the Sabres going to get back in the playoff race or not? It's going to come right down to that. But we got to win these games in regulation. I can't stress that enough. We have to win in regulation. Giving them a point for them is a moral victory right now. If they manage to have us at, and they deserve a point. If we can't beat them in regulation, then that team deserves a point no matter what. We have to get this game in regulation, guys. So I'm hoping that today the boys come with their best game of the year. We need to have our outright best game of the year, physical, all of it. It has to be all there today. Put it all on the table, boys. Seriously. You got a chance to get back in the race. My goodness, here it is. We're 7 points out. We could be 5 after a win tonight. It's up to them. And that's really where I stand with that, guys. It's up to them. So we'll see. We're going to see what our team is made of the next week. The next week's going to say a lot about the entire season, I believe. To be honest, I'm kind of surprised we're getting this chance. But we are for a reason, so we better jump on it and not even think second about it. If Granato can't have this team ready now, he's got to get out as coach. He's got to get out at the end of the year. If he can't have this team ready now, right now, for these set of games, these next 3 games, this team is talented enough to catch both these teams. This team is, the truth, they're more talented than both these teams. They are. They've just had a crap year because they're a young team that's learning. But this could be a real week of growth for the kids if they could get these 3 games. I can't even stress how happy I'd be. I'd love to see nothing more than the Sabres just get right back in this with about 5-6 games left, because then it'll make the non-believers understand that the quitting mentality is useless. And the truth is, it's cowardice. Really. Only cowards give up. So we're not going to give up, guys. Not the real fans. We don't give up. We have to see what happens in games like this. This week, to me, is like it's a gift that we've been given in a real bad season. The way this is, or it could backfire, but at least we'll know where we stand as a team. At least we'll finally know that, no, this team had no business even thinking about the playoffs this year. They just weren't ready, you know? Or they'll get right back in it like they did last year and just fizzle out at the very end, or fizzle in at the very end. But one or the other, they're going to give us a heart attack right to the end. If they win these 3 games, we're going to be like this the rest of the year, just trying to nip away and get in, you know, try chip away at anything we can down the stretch. So, guys, I'm excited about these 3 games. As you can tell, I'm excited. And I'm just going to go with whatever happens. And yeah, I'll report on it and say they just weren't good enough in this game. Or the boys are scratching and clawing their way back into the season. Because if we can ever get back into the playoffs in a season like this, what a story that would be. Because the truth is, 75% of our fans wrote them off 20 games ago. Not now, 20 games ago. And here we are, still alive, with a chance to get right back in it tonight if they can win. Yes, if they can win. So let's hope the boys make us all happy, make us all proud, and get this game. Because if we can get this game, I think we're all going to be starting to feel like, wait a minute, this thing isn't over. It's not over. And then we got the Islanders in a big one. And if we win that one, and I'm going a little ahead here of the possibility of what we're staring at here, then the game in Detroit becomes a monster game for the kids. A monster game. Probably the biggest game of their career, if they can sweep out these games. But let's take it a game at a time. We'll see if the boys win tonight, because if they can win tonight, we're in it. We're just in it. All right, guys, done. I'll see you in the post game. Let's get this one. Let's get back in the race. Let's get right back in the race this week. And the naysayers and the fans that want to give up might just jump on the wagon and say, hey, hold on a second. You know, this team isn't done. See you tonight, guys.